Welcome to Cheap Controls. We make videos on things that we struggled with, hoping to help you so you don't. Consider subscribing and hitting that bell. In this video I'm going to talk about the L298N stepper motor controller. I'm going to have a short series of videos where I'm going to control a DC motor with this device, and I'm also going to include a Hall effect to try and regulate the RPM based upon readings and feedback from a Hall effect device to hold the RPMs at a certain level. This should make a pretty interesting series. It would be too long to put it into one video, so I'm going to make this video on just the basics of the L298N, because as I go through this I have a feeling I'm going to make some adjustments, like I'm going to have to use a different voltage, I may have to change the motors, and the system and how this works. I want to be able to refer back to this video for anybody that might have some questions and not have to continually talk about this L298N. So if you're already familiar with it, you might want to skip this video. I'm going to start by going over the voltage that powers this driver. And you can see down here on the connector you have a 12 volt, a ground, and a 5 volt. And that's in case the motors require a different voltage than what your Arduino requires. And you can think of them as being isolated, so you'll have a low voltage or an Arduino side and a high voltage or a motor side. And then that 12 volt signal, at least the one that's labeled 12 volts, if you put that into it, it runs through a regulator and then it converts it, it's a 5 volt regulator, back to 5 volts. Now it's recommended that if you go above 12 volts that you don't use that regulator. And you can take the regulator out of the circuit by disconnecting it on the two pins that for some reason say, it looked to me like 5 VEN or 5 volts in, maybe that's what that is. But it turns that 12 volts, it runs it through the regulator and it puts it out the 5 volt connector there. But by pulling that little jumper there, you can independently power the 12 volt side and the 5 volt side. Now for my experiment, and what I'm going to start with, I'm going to be using a 5 volt motor. So I'm going to be putting 5 volts into the 12 volt pin. Well, I've found that the regulator drops the voltage down. It doesn't deal with 5 volts very well. So I have to use 5 volts on both inputs. And I'll be showing you that as we get to the live examples. Now in the lower right you have the inputs from the Arduino. And N1, N2, N3, and N4, they directly correlate to out 1, out 2, out 3, and out 4. Now they're optically isolated from the different sides, so you don't risk any damage to the Arduino, which is nice. And if you're powering a stepper motor, you would jumper the two pins on the left and the right of this set of pins, and that would supply 5 volts directly to the drivers. So that way when pin 1 is on, it's always on, when pin 2 is on, it's always on, and so forth. But by pulling the jumpers there, you can inject a pulse width modulated signal. So that way you can control that even though you turn N1 on, it's going to oscillate at a pulse width modulated frequency, so then you can control the speed of a DC motor. It's not something you would want to do with a stepper motor, or at least nothing that I've run across that I'd want to do with a stepper motor at this point. And for all of the experiments in this series, we're going to be using a DC motor. This is an actual photo of the jumper without the connector on it. And then this is a picture of it with the connector on it, just to give you an idea. If you have one of these boards, hopefully it makes sense. It's kind of hard to pull those little jumpers off. I use a little jeweler's screwdriver to kind of get underneath the tab and pop it back. For today, I'm not going to hook up a motor or anything. I'm just going to show you the voltages that I put in. But the first experiment is just going to be to control the motor with the Arduino. And we're just going to control out 1 and out 2, or the left side of the board. So I'll only have one motor connected. I'm not sure where the serials will go. Maybe I'll add 2 down the road. So on the inputs, all we're going to be using are the green wire, the yellow wire, and the orange wire as you see in the diagram. Because the green wire will be our pulse width modulated, which will control the speed of the motor, and then the yellow wire and the orange wire are going to control the direction by changing output 1 and output 2, changing the polarity on that. And then just for this drawing I added this 9-volt battery because I'm using Fritzig to create these diagrams, and that's what they had for a power source, so I just threw it in there just to show you how it could be hooked up. And in this case, this would assume that the jumper is placed on it, and we have a 9-volt signal. So the 9-volt signal goes into the 12-volt input, runs through the 5-volt regulator and converts that to 5 volts, and then runs it down to the Arduino to power up the Arduino. And then there's a common ground between the two. And for this scenario, this should work very nice, other than the fact the motor I'm going to be using is a 3 to 6 volt motor, so I probably wouldn't be able to get away with this. You can see the red shrink wrap around the one wire, and that's the main input. And I have that connected. And right now I do not have the jumper in. So when I turn it on, you're going to see a voltage, and the red multimeter is the main power in, and then the yellow multimeter is going to show the power coming off the 5-volt regulator. And you can see when I turn it on, I've got it currently set to 11.4 volts input, and I have nothing coming out. You'll also notice that the board itself doesn't have any lights on at this point, and there are lights on it. When I go to put the jumper wire on, you'll see that it will go up to 5 volts, so we'll be powering the board itself, and then we'll also be able to send power out to the Arduino. Now, as you can see, now that I have the jumper wire on, I have 5 volts coming out the other side. Now, my original hope was that I could power this with 5 volts and then take the output power, the voltage you're seeing on the yellow meter, and run my Arduino off that. Since the motor, it runs at 3 to 6 volts, I'm probably going to set the voltage straight at 5 and then just use that as my main power supply. But you'll see as I turn the voltage down, it results in a problem on my output. When I go down to 8 here, it doesn't seem to have any effect. And this is at 6.7. We seem to be okay here. But you can see once I get it set around 5 volts, our output runs down to 3.47. So at this point I'm just going to run it at 5 volts, or I'm going to extend the power supply and I'm going to jumper it between the 12 volts and the 5 volts. If you take that jumper out, you can do that safely. So as you can see now, I have the jumper off, so I'm getting 0 volts. I have 5.5 volts going in. I'm going to switch it out to the power supply that I'm going to use for the example, and we'll show you again the voltages. Now for this one, I not only hooked up the 5-volt power supply, but I also hooked up a motor and an Arduino. So I'm going to turn it on, and first we'll just measure the voltage, and then we'll go ahead and plug it in, and we'll see how it all works together. And you can see as the voltage goes up to 5, the light came on the display. So I've got 5 volts both going in and out. But really all I've done is I've jumpered the 12 volt and the 5 volt signals together on the blue connector, and I've removed that jumper. And now I've connected up the Arduino. And you can see that the motor spins. And the way I have it set up right now is I have a pulse width modulated test going, so it slowly gets faster and faster and faster, and then it stops, and now it'll start going the other way. And that's going to be the next video that I shoot. And just to review, because this is kind of what I had in that experiment where I just had the motor running. I took the power supply, which is only 5 volts, not 9 volts, and I have it going into pin 12 or into the 12 volt input because you have to have voltage on that side because that's what powers the motor. And then I have a jumper wire that jumpers across to the 5 volt because not only do you need to power the Arduino, but you have to power that side of the driver board also. So I ran a wire from the 12 volt to the 5 volt, and then I ran out of the 5 volt into the Arduino. Technically I could have run it out of the 12 volt into the Arduino, and when I do this in the next video, I'll probably tie everything into the breadboard. So everything will be wired into the breadboard, and then I'll have a 5 volt signal coming out of the breadboard up to the 12 volt side and the 5 volt side and a ground. I think that'll make things a little bit neater for the video, especially when I put the camera on the breadboard to show how it all works. And I'll also get a little bit more into how the pulse width modulator is going to work and how we'll drive the in1 and in2 to then drive the out1 and the out2 of the motor. Well, that's about it for this video. If you like what you saw, consider giving me a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.